Hello, and welcome to this episode 9 of Chain World. Chain World is a series that we have been doing where we play Dungeon World with super awesome people. And we're mostly trying to show some of the really cool things that you can do with Dungeon World, some of the fun you can have, some of the different ways you can play, some of the different ethoses that people will bring in, ETI, people will bring into the game. Sort of show you a lot of what is out there to be used in Dungeon World. So to call this out in advance, this event is an Indie Plus event, and it will conform to the Indie Plus community standards. If you'd like to know more about what those are, you can go to indieplus.org, and chances are this event will be rated R. We will not shy away from a good old dose of the old ultra-violence or cursing or orgies of cloud sprites. So be aware that chances are things are going to veer in a more adult line, and if you're familiar with the comic Rat Queens, that's a lot of her inspiration, so that'll give you a good baseline for what to expect. So, with all that out of the way, my name is Brendan Conway, and I am playing tonight Charfiend the Immolator, an adorable, completely innocent and lovable little salamander who's never done anything wrong in his life, except for all those times when he burned something he shouldn't, and maybe killed Andromeda accidentally, but it's cool because he's redeeming quality. Yeah, he just likes lighting things on fire, and he's got a bit of a crush on Andromeda now, which is part of why he feels especially bad for having killed her. Andrea.
I'm Andrea. I play the Paladin of Basilides, Etheldreda de Graves, better known as Graves. She is still kind of not on good terms with her god, although she's trying really hard to make it up to him. She sort of dropped his holy symbol in a sewer, and he was not pleased. So she may be sulking about and doing really stupid things because she's trying to prove that, hey, look at me, I still care. Aww.
Aww. I'm Jen. I'm playing Andromeda the Star Mage, who was accidentally killed. Yeah, I mean, it was manslaughter at best. We've established this. Andromeda is an alien. She's from a different place, so when she died, and she got a citation for dying on the wrong plane, but we totally got that taken care of. And now she's wearing a necklace with a meteor in it, and also part of an eldritch god, but it's totally fine. Nothing bad can happen from that at all.
Ever. Misha, are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sounds like... Yay! Okay, so apparently there's a bit of a lag. I'm a bard. Make these people look... So far, it's been successful. We've got some good things under our belt. So hopefully you're hearing this, and if not, sorry.
Yay for technical difficulties. Chain World. Sarah.
I'm Sarah. I'll be playing Sha-Sheena. I am totally not a bundle of trouble who
Wouldn't be Monday without them.
That's right. Who likes to chew off people's faces and make sure they don't have any extra kneecaps.
And finally, our guest GM for tonight played in the last session, and now she's taking over, Willow.
Hi, I'm Willow. I'm going to be GMing tonight, and it's going to be fun.
I didn't want to hear that.
You love it.
I totally do. Yeah, so without further ado then, Willow, it's your show.
All right. So, last we met, there was something going along with like these magical rifts in gnome territory, gnome country, or something that that to deal with. There were some orcish war sleds that Valeria took care of for you guys, and now you're in the gnomish city of Technomica, it is this round, circular, really well laid out city, kind of made of brass metal everywhere, and there's this giant spire in the center of the city. Just this huge building that stretches crazy above everything else. And there's like this platform with all these trellises and scaffolding on it, so it kind of goes up and then out. And at the center of it, there's this giant orb of power. All right? So you guys are up there by the giant orb of power. It is like just before sunset. The sky is starting to turn purple, and there's this just gigantic rift in the sky, this black tear in reality, and behind it is just things that should not be, black tendrils of nothingness, of anti-existence, are oozing out, and about 100 void wings have spilled out. These are these black flying creatures with giant claws, and they are attacking. They are coming towards you. They're coming towards the rest of the city. They're going all over the place. There's 100 of them, literally. I'm sure Valyria will take care of like half of them, but that still leaves a bunch for you guys to deal with. So, before we get to that, I have a couple questions. Last session, you guys got a magic sword, and Valyria was wielding it, but she doesn't really, she's not really interested on having it in the long term. So who has the magic sword?
Sha-Sheena?
That's kind of difficult because, man, I'm attached to my sword, but I can have more than one sword. I will happily take it. Thank you.
Right. So this magic sword, you'll remember, there's the hilt, and then you draw it, and then there's this a plume of smoke that cuts through anything, which is the blade. The sword is weight 1. It does your normal damage. It is messy, and it ignores all armor.
Ooh, I like that.
So, Charfiend, you have been in the city.
Yep, I think I think I was looking for materials and/or help to assemble some sort of space vehicle because I got shit all knowledge when it comes to that, and I feel awkward displaying my ignorance in front of Andromeda. So of course I'm not going to ask the space person. So I decided to instead ask gnomes.
All right. What gizmo did the gnomes give you to help them?
They gave it to me to help them. Yeah. I'm thinking they gave me this experimental device that they think might explode. It's essentially a space-time welder. It was an attempt to like have even more tools for use in playing with the fabric of space-time. These gnomes do not have good survival instincts. But yeah, so the thing is, like, it's very dangerous. It requires a huge power source to produce the flame, and so like they're like, not only can he power it, but if he dies, none of us will be that sad. So they gave it to me.
All right. Graves, what are you guys doing up here on top of the spire anyway?
So we're up here because, you know, there's an aerial assault, so it only makes sense to be closer to the aerial assault.
Did you guys know this was going to happen, or?
Well, yeah, I mean that rift is it looks huge from even where we are, but we could see this thing coming from, you know, miles away. So they've been on the horizon for a little while, and they were a little bitty spots, but now they're kind of taking shape.
Yeah. So you've arrived just in time.
Of course. Dramatic timing.
Sha-Sheena, what reward did the gnomes promise you?
Oh, let's see. They convinced me to do this because it would bring me great fame and glory, and then they wanted to worship me like a goddess and marry me. So I'm still thinking that this will be an excellent opportunity to increase my reputation.
Okay.
And yes, I want them to rename their city after me.
Anything for their goddess if you save them.
Such poor survival instincts, these pretty gnomes.
Andromeda, what does the glowy orb of power do?
This is the big giant glowy orb of power that we are near.
Yes, what does it do?
I think that it some of the gnomes made it to adjust reality in a way that was favorable to them.
Okay. And you're with us, right? You didn't fall out again?
Maybe.
All right.
The technology betrays us.
All right. Well, hopefully she'll be back, and then something awesome will happen. All right. So you guys are all on up on this this platform. There are some mini gnome warriors with crossbows and stuff with you, but really they're expecting Sha-Sheena, their their goddess, to save the day. 100 void wings just poured out of this portal. Maybe about a quarter of them are focused on the giant globe of power and the people around it. The others are just kind of flying around all over the place. Maybe they haven't gotten their bearings yet. Who wants to do a thing?
I will totally do a thing.
What thing do you do?
If no one will stop me, I will run and leap from the top of the building onto one of the flying things, so it will be my steed for battle.
All right.
Half of my dice.
All right. You run and leap and land on the back of a void wing. Now you must tame it. Roll to defy danger with charisma.
I like this. I like this a lot, actually.
And you have an appetite for dominating things, right?
Yeah.
You want to apply that?
Let's see here.
I'm just seeing the steed of Sha-Sheena on the back of this horrible thing. Obey me!
Yes, this is happening. And yes, I want to apply my my appetite to that. Hell yes. So I've got my D6 and my D8. All right, I got a total of 8, and my D6 is a 4 and my D8 is a 3.
All right. So what causes there to be some extra consequence?
It's if the D8 is the higher one.
And the D8 is the higher one in this situation?
In this case, it's the lower one.
Okay, so that's good. All right.
It's good for me.
All right. But that is a mixed success. So, you jump on the back of this thing, and you're trying to get it under control. Another one does a flyby and swipes you with its rending claws. Take a D6 damage.
All right. Seems about normal. And of course I roll a 6 now. Why would I not roll a 6? And I'm still pretty hurt from last time, actually.
Everybody's completely healed up.
Okay, never mind. I shrug
Except
it
for
off.
that 6 damage.
Except for the 6 damage.
Mhm.
I shake my fist and curse at that one.
Okay. All right. So you're on one. Another one is nearby. It's probably going to come around for another pass. Graves, what are you doing?
Well, Graves is not about to be outshone, so
Okay.
she's going to do the really stupid thing and do exactly what Sha-Sheena just did.
All right.
I
Same
have
for
the worst influence! Yes!
same for Graves. Defy danger on charisma.
Okie dokie. That is an 8 on the dice, and I have a charisma of 1, so that is a 9.
Okay. All right. So, you jump onto the back of this void wing, this black inky terror, and you are kind of half on and half off. You mostly have it under control, but you haven't quite righted yourself yet. And it is a really long fall down. I wouldn't advise dropping down. Misha, are you with us?
You're muted.
She's muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yay!
Big tower, golden orb thingy, portal, 100 void wings. What reinforcements do you arrive with?
I have an entire gnomish army at my back.
Excellent. All right. So the gnomish sky ships rise up from the city to fight the void wings, and at the standing on the gnomish flagship is Aliana. So yeah, Aliana, what do you do?
Sure. I've got my new loot out, and I am playing like massive power riffs to hype up the crew.
Okay. Do you have a move you want to use for
Yeah,
that?
sorry. That is arcane art.
Okay.
I am moving a performance into a basic spell.
Okay.
Oh man. I am going to target Graves.
Okay.
Because she has just done something incredibly silly. And if I can get the dice to load, which may or may not do, because my computer sucks. Okay,
Nice.
so that's a 14. So then the next time somebody successfully assists her, they'll get a +2 instead of a +1, and she has a +1d4 forward to damage. Try not to kill yourself with that.
Aye, aye.
Oh, screw that! Come on, let's do something fucking awesome!
All right. Charfiend, what are you doing?
I'm just sort of standing on that rooftop looking up at that big old hole in the sky, and I'm sort of pondering in my head, so did you guys do this one too? Is this... Never mind. Andromeda, I can try to close it, I think. It's really big. They didn't tell me it was that big.
They
You might need to
didn't.
be a little closer, too.
Yeah, can you get me up there?
I mean, I can try.
That sounds perfectly safe.
I mean, sure. Yes, I can do that thing. Yes, so I'm going to do Gravity Pulse on Charfiend.
All right.
There's no way that goes badly.
Okay.
All right, so I am rolling plus Wisdom. My Wisdom is a +2, so that is 9.
All right.
On a 7 to 9, I also cause a weird gravitational side effect. The GM will tell me what happens.
Okay, so what is the spell supposed to do?
Sure. The target's gravity is greatly reduced. It can leap or be thrown great distances with ease, and it falls very slowly.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Charfiend, you are super light, but all of that gravity had to be displaced somewhere else, and the giant tower pinnacle thing you're on starts to creak and sway just a little bit. I'm sure that's fine.
Fine. It's totally fine.
It's fine. It's just fine. Let's just ignore it and let them rebuild their city when we're done.
All right. So, yeah, she's cast her spell on you, Charfine. What do you do now?
I leap the hell up, pouring fire through this welding machine strapped to my chest in a vain attempt, I'm sure, to try to like weld shut this hole in space.
All right. So you leap up there, and one of the void wings flies in your way. What do you do?
I turn the welder on it. Burn!
Okay. Why don't you hack and slash?
Sure. I'm not so good at that when I'm not using fire. So this is good. Alright. Control.
Does using the welder not count as using fire?
I have to specifically conjure a weapon of pure flame.
Oh, so you're just being lazy in this instance.
That is correct.
Okay, good.
It happened before I had a chance to react. So that's a 7 on hack and slash. Which, as I pull up the basic moves to make sure, so I deal my damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against me.
Okay.
I will just go ahead and roll my damage. And that's an 8. Ooh, yeah.
Very nice. And it's going to do a d6 back to you.
No, thank you. That's a 4.
Hi. So it's over your salamander, right? So you got the scaly hide, and then it gets a face through. It gets a face full of this cosmic torch, and it just goes into cinders. So yeah, that's one down.
Like 99 to go.
Sha-Sheena, you have gotten. You're mounted on this thing. You're flying around. There's more void wings in the sky. What do you do?
Well, now that I have the one I'm riding under control, I'm going to direct it to kind of dive bomb its fellows and then fly towards Charfiend, because look, he has fire.
Okay. All right. So you're kind of do a dive bomb on one of the enemy void wings?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you do a hack and slash?
Ooh, my favorite.
+1 damage for being mounted on a void wing.
These are my favorite things to hear. +10. I got a 10. Let me hurt you, baby. Let's see. I have a D10 line from someone. Oh, and they're going to take 10 points of damage.
All right. Yeah.
That makes me happy.
What weapon are you using?
I'm using the fancy magic sword.
Okay. Sword, all right, yeah. So you just slice through this thing, and it turns into smoke and then evaporates. And then you're trying to fly up towards Charfiend, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
And
so...
hoping some of them will follow me.
All right. And what's that? What's that you're trying to do?
I'm trying to get some of them to follow me.
Oh, yes, they are. You have their attention. They are definitely following you.
Good.
Graves, so you're kind of half on, half off of this void wing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one coming up towards you, almost nipping at your tail metaphorically.
Okay. So Graves is so even though she's not like fully secure on this thing, she has absolutely no trouble turning around and, kind of getting this thing off of her/her mount, because that's going to make things even more difficult if we do that. So I think I would just like to try to stab it without falling from the sky and splattering on the ground.
Yeah, hack and slash.
Well, fortunately, that is an 8. Yes, an 8.
And I believe you have some bonus damage.
Yep. Oops, not that one. So that's a 10.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you just you slice through that thing, hack it into little pieces. But it you got a 7 and 9, so it damages you back. It does a D6.
Haha.
See, I'm gonna have this badass scar, and you're all. I'm a little scratched.
Well, my armor is scratched. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Right. Wager on kills.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
All right. And now that you've dealt with that thing, you have time to really climb up onto this thing and really get a good seat on it. You're able to get you're able to take in a better view of what's going on. These gnomish airship, they got crossbows and stuff, and they're killing some of the void wings. They've killed maybe 7 or 8 of their own while you've been doing that. But one of the airships is damaged. They have torn the engine apart, and it is now one engine is still running, but it's kind of shaking and it's gonna possibly crash into the city. That might be bad, or maybe you don't care. Aliana, you're on a different airship. You see that happening. What do you do?
Sure, I'm going to see if I can make some of them turn and attack each other.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So yeah, you like start getting some serious power cords going on from the loot now, and if this works. Crossing here. So sane. So the attack their nearest ally, but they also
you cut out there, but it sounds like 2 of them are going to be fighting each other now, and so that's going to cause some chaos.
yes.
But you also draw their attention and ire. Okay.
Great.
So a couple of them are fighting each other, and one swoops in directly at you. What do you do?
And hope I can get missed.
You hope you get missed?
Yes, after.
All right. Why don't you defy danger with Dex? You're just dodging, right? Okay.
3.
Okay. All right. So the good news is you dodge out of the way of the void wing. The bad news, you have fallen off your airship and are now falling. That might be bad. Andromeda, you see that. That might be something you care about.
It is something I care about. So I'm going to stop concentrating on Tarfiend, who now has a couple of moments before he starts falling. It specifically says, when your concentration suddenly fails you, the target gains the opposite effect for a moment. Oh, the opposite. I'm sorry.
Well, let's skip to Tarfiend. Let's skip to Tarfiend.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Tarfiend, you have just gotten up to this giant, awful tear in space and time and everything. What do you do?
Sure. So as soon as I get there, right, I pour as much fire as I can through this welder, and I start aiming it at the sides of the tear in space. Just essentially trying to see desperately what will happen, if anything.
Okay. All right. So I have a custom move for this. When you attempt to close the rift between worlds, summon your magical might and roll plus will.
So is that wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom.
Okay. I can do this.
I don't know, whatever you guys call it in this game.
Will, wisdom, same thing. I can do this. I have hope. So that's an 8.
Okay. You seal the gate a little bit, but at a price. All right. So you kind of weld a portion of the rift shut. There's like this glowing sear in the sky where you've sewn reality back together.
I think it's better.
A emerges from the portal. This is like a void wing, only about twice as big. So yeah, that's cool, and and it seems to be particularly paying attention to you. And then the gravity spell wears off. So what do you do?
And for a second, he's extra heavy as far as gravity is concerned.
So start rocketing to the ground. Great.
Yes. Sorry.
Well, I guess this is just us being even. Yeah, I mean, this is friggin' crazy, but the best option I can think of is I've got this weird, crazy welder that channels my fire, right? Point that at the ground, pour as much fire out of it as I can, and turn it into a rocket.
All right. That's going to be a defy danger. Are you going for any particular stat you think might be more appropriate?
Oh, gosh. To call it out, when I do conjure my burning brand, when I conjure a weapon of pure flame, that's con, because I think it has to do with me actually summoning up that fire. So if you think it's about, like, can I actually summon up that fire, it's probably con. Is that fair?
Let's go with that.
All right. Let's do this. So that's a 9.
All right. All right, so you managed to at least stop your plummet for now. You are not going to go splat anywhere, but you are still in a state. You are still in the sky with nothing below you, and that could be a problem.
And the giant thing is beelining for me, it sounds like, right?
Yeah. We're going to go to Sha-Sheena, because Sha-Sheena, you were flying specifically towards Tarfiend.
Yeah.
So you see this. He closes part of the rift. He plummets, gets a little bit of a retro rocket, is slowing his fall, and this really scary thing just came out of the rift.
Well, Sha-Sheena fears nothing, so she'd like to guide her void wing to swoop down so I can grab Tarfiend, probably by a painful part to be held by.
Okay.
I see a lot of people shaking their heads, but that is how you grab someone when they're falling in the air.
All right, yeah. All right, you do that. You swoop down, Charfine, you have been grabbed, and oof.
Ooh,
That
yes,
hurt.
his tail.
Totally my favorite.
All right.
Ah!
All right.
Don't shed it! Don't shed it!
All right. Andromeda, back to you. What do you whole bunch of stuff's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and slow my friend's fall down, and by my friend I mean Aliana, because I need her to live so she can write a song about me. So that's a thing. So this is the same roll I made before. 7. This is an 8-9. So again, there is an unintended side effect. Weird gravitational side effect.
Okay. So you're slowing her down, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she gets really slow. However, remember that other airship that was kind of crashing? That one just becomes super heavy and crashes and falls into the city. Massive property damage.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's cool. You know.
I mean,
Oops.
It was probably going to happen anyway.
probably.
Great.
Did you say my name or
I
great?
did say your name, Graves.
Okay, I wasn't sure how excited we were about the massive property
I'm
damage.
very excited. You're riding a Voidwing. The other Voidwings aren't particularly paying attention to you, so you have your choice of targets or whatever you'd like to do. The Gnomish army has killed about a quarter of them.
Okay, did you say that the ship that Aliana was on was kind of getting swarmed too?
Yeah, that ship that Aliana fell off was starting to get swarmed.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Graves is going to kind of swoop in and grab Aliana by the wrist because she's slower, so this is easier now.
Sure.
Grab her by the wrist and pull her up onto the Voidwing she's currently flying. And as soon as Aliana's settled, Graves is basically going to kind of swoop towards the ship that Aliana was on and jump off the Voidwing and leave it to Aliana to control so she can clear the swarm off of the ship.
All right. I'm going to have you do a Defy Danger on either Strength or Dex. And Aliana, you can help with this if you like.
Yeah, I do the help. That's a 6.
I even get a +2 for helping you.
Hooray!
So, assuming I don't, of course. I somehow managed to screw that.
So that's a fail.
And I try to help, and so somehow that it's with charisma.
All right. So you would have grabbed her. However, another Voidwing gets to her first and snatches Aliana up in its claws and is flapping away, carrying you, Aliana. You are under. It's got like these 2 arms that come down and then wings that flap. Also, another Void Gaunt has spawned from the portal and seems to be coming in your direction, Graves. So, Aliana, you are being carried by a Night Gaunt off to some horrible fate, I assume. Or a nice one, maybe.
Yeah, sure. So I'm in its arms, which means its arms are full, which means if I were to, say, I don't know, stab it in the squishy bits right now, it would be hard for it to resist?
Yes. Why don't... Yeah, it's not really a hack and slash because it's not in a position to fight back. But it still could go wrong. Let's call that a defy danger on Dex.
Okay, that's a 7.
A 10?
7.
7?
Yeah,
Alright.
I wish it was a 10.
Okay. Go ahead and do your damage.
Just 3.
3? Alright. So the good news is you stab it in the belly. What kind of weapon do you have?
A short sword.
Okay. Alright, so the good news is you stab it in the belly. The bad news is well, also good news, it lets go of you. Win-win. And you're falling. Alright, Sha-Sheena and Sharfiend, you guys are on one of these together, and one of the Void Gaunts is coming right at you guys. What are you doing?
If I may, I'd like to whip Charfiend around by his tail and throw him at it.
Alright.
You're armed.
Yes, I have arms. Yes.
You should work on growing like those flaps so you can like glide.
Oh God.
Right. Defy danger on strength.
Let's see here.
Don't miss.
I got a 10.
All right.
I never miss when I throw my friends.
You hit the Void Gaunt square with the salamander. Roll your damage.
Oh wow! So I actually am using him as a weapon this time. This is fantastic. Oh, only 2 points of damage.
All right. Star, you harmlessly bounce off the Void Gaunt. What do you do?
Well, while I bounce off it and I'm in midair, I will rapidly pull a fire whip out of the air and try and wrap it around the Void Gaunt's throat.
Okay.
So this is probably when you conjure a weapon of pure flame, roll plus con.
Okay.
I will do that thing. So that would be a 10.
All right.
I get to choose 2 tags from my list, and I may treat my int as strength or dex in regards to making attacks with a weapon. It begins with fiery, dangerous, and 3 uses. And so this is like, I want it to be sort of a whip, but I can only make it hand or thrown. So I guess I make it thrown? Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
That's not quite right. Okay.
You're throwing?
Yeah, because I want to pull the whip out to wrap it around the thing's throat and like hopefully also use it to have me hanging on to it, right? Like trailing behind it on this whip of flame. Mm-hmm. And I'll take thrown and I will take +1 damage. So the weapon is fiery, dangerous, thrown, and +1 damage.
Right. So that roll was just to
Make the weapon.
That roll was just to conjure the whip, right?
Yep.
Wasn't
Yep.
to use anything. All right. And it sounds. All right. And you're trying to use that to kind of garrote it and lash onto it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Why don't you defy danger with strength?
You got it. Should that just to check because I got a munchkin. It says you may treat your int as strength or dex in regards to making attacks with this weapon. Do you think that counts?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Which brings it to a 10 for me.
Okay. Yes, you do the thing. You have garroted the Void Gaunt. You are starting to choke it a little bit. You're hanging off it. You're not falling. It feels, being this close to it, it is disturbingly cold.
Everything is terrible!
Yes, everything is terrible. Who hasn't gone on in a while? Andromeda, what are you doing?
I think we're back to Andromeda.
I mean, I still have the spell on Aliana,
Okay.
so that she might be falling, but she's not falling terribly.
Very good point.
Yeah, I think I'm mostly just trying to concentrate on that.
Okay. So Aliana, you're still under the effect of the spell. What do you do?
I'm in terror at the top of my lungs, mostly.
Okay.
So is there anything trying to actively kill me at the moment, other than gravity?
No, just gravity.
Then I am going from killing me for the moment and hope for the best.
All right. Are you gonna try to figure out a good place to land? Or are you gonna just roll onto an airship or go somewhere in particular?
Do I have that much control, I guess is the question.
You're under a slow fall spell, so yeah, you pretty much do.
Okay, then then I'm going to try to glide to a airship.
Okay. Why don't you do a defy danger, either Dex or Intelligence?
Yeah, I apparently am not that bright. So that's another XP. The day Aliana.
All right. You know that Voidwing that you just stabbed? So it flies by and rakes you with its claws. It does another D6 damage. You're still falling, but now you're also in combat with a Voidwing that hates you.
That's gonna hurt.
Graves, one of the two Void Gaunts that spawned from the portal is making a beeline right towards your position.
Okay, well, I'm still worried about Aliana here, because
Okay.
my last attempt to help did not go so
Good.
well.
It's good that you're concerned about your friend.
Okay. But you know, she doesn't look like she's plummeting to her death, so that's helpful. I'm going to actually try to cast a spell.
Okay.
I have Cause Fear memorized. So, I have too many character sheets in front of me. I need to roll plus Wisdom. Yes, I'd hide too if I were you. No. No spell.
I am totally, completely, and utterly terrified right now.
Yep. Yeah. It doesn't say what happens if I fail. I think it just doesn't work.
All right. So what were you trying to do?
Cause fear.
A what?
Cause fear.
Cause fear. Okay.
Yep.
And what would happen if you had cast that spell successfully?
If I had cast it successfully, I've lost my character sheet again. Basically, the target is afraid of an object I cast it on, which I was sort of aiming for her loot. I think that's what you have. The reaction is up to them. Flee, panic, beg, fight. When the spell is ongoing, blah, 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 blah.
All right. So I'm going to give you a choice. Does the spell affect you, or does it affect Aliana?
I'm totally going to say me.
Okay.
Make me afraid of
you
my
have
loot.
a crippling fear of Aliana and her loot.
That's awesome.
Your god is not pleased.
No, he's really not. I've seen what that loot can do.
Yeah. So how do you react to this divine insight that you are terrified of Aliana?
You know, I think I'm going to go in the other direction.
All right.
Very, very swiftly.
Okay. So you are fleeing. That is just fine.
I don't know what I'm fleeing towards. I'm not looking that direction.
You're just fleeing. All right. Valeria shows up, kills about half the remaining void wings. There's still a bunch of them, though. Sha-Sheena, what are you doing?
Am I too far away to help Aliana?
No, you could. You'd be abandoning Charfiend to fight the Void God on his own.
I am okay with this. Sorry,
All right.
bestie.
All right, so you swoop away from that, down towards Aliana, where she is mano a mano with a Voidwing.
All right. So, are you trying to like get away from it, or because you're like, she's like being held by it, right?
No, she's falling, and it's trying to take swipes at her while she falls.
Oh, that's not very nice. I'm tempted. So if it was Sha-Sheena in this situation, she would want her friend to slam into her and push her towards the thing she's attacking so she could hurt it.
That seems reasonable.
That's totally reasonable. I'm going to do that.
All right. All right. So
We're gonna have a
so Aliana, you're gonna hack and slash whether you like it or not, and Sha-Sheena's gonna help you on that roll.
Awesome.
Okie dokie then.
You love us all. You won't be falling anymore.
Lead on.
That's a 10.
Am I hacking? Let's see. Hack and slashes with strength. So that is sure. Yeah, we're not going to expose it to attack because I am really bad at that. For 4 damage.
All right. That was the one that had, yeah. So you take that one out.
See? Totally worked out.
Yay! I finally killed. I killed something. Amazing.
We'll get you a tattoo.
And you are now also, on the Voidwing that Sha-Sheena is flying on. You're kind of like, she's grabbed you by one shoulder or something.
I am.
She's holding on
By the way.
The guitar strap or something.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm holding onto it with one hand, holding the guitar strap with the other, and I'm like screaming down in your face, yes, yes, that is how it's fucking done! Sorry.
All right. Andromeda, it looks like they've got that part under control.
Yeah, so I feel like it's time to turn back to Charfiend.
Okay.
So he has this fire whip like around the thing's neck, right?
Yeah.
What is going on? Where do you still have the welder, Charfiend?
Yep, strapped to my chest, probably pressed to the top of the night gaunt right now.
Okay. What else can we try and fix this thing with? The thing that needs to be welded. Do we have anything else to do that with?
Perhaps your pure eldritch power would suffice if you just could get close enough to it.
Or well,
maybe...
I mean that's pretty easy actually. Like I totally have a thing where I can just open up, you know, the fabric of space and just like walk through.
All right.
So, but this terror is like an open space, right? Like it's not conveniently located where I can just not be in the middle of open space.
That is correct. There's not anything to stand on next to it. So you would open up your portal, go up there, do a thing, but then you'd be falling.
I mean I feel like I actually kind of want to like open the portal and then like reach part of myself through while hanging onto the building.
Hanging on to what?
hanging onto the building that I'm standing on right now.
Okay, so the portal's gonna be like below you, and you're gonna be hanging down like through
Yeah,
it.
kinda. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. All right. So do you need to roll anything to do this?
Yes. I don't have to roll anything. When you make use of the folds to extend your reach, anything I can see within near range is also considered to be within hand range of me. I can touch, manipulate, drop, pick up or attack any one thing in near range, blah, blah, blah. So I don't actually have to roll for that so long as I'm not trying to walk through the thing. And no bisecting. That's not nice.
So you can open the portal and reach through to tinker with this thing.
So that's what I do.
All right. Go ahead and roll plus wisdom to summon your magical knight.
All right. 6, 7, 8.
All right. All right. So you don't have enough energy, and that has to come from somewhere. So you borrow a bunch from that glowy orb of power that alters the fabric of space and time. I'm sure nothing bad will happen from doing that. So now the portal is more closed. However, the glowy orb of power is now kind of flickering and is getting really dim. More of the airship engines seem to be having some problems.
I'm gonna have to leave this town at night. They are gonna hate me.
Okay. And also the tower that you're standing on is now it is now actually tipping over.
Oh my.
Charfiend, you have this thing corroded.
So the portal is close to being totally shut, but not totally closed yet, right?
That's correct.
All right. So what I want to do is an insane maneuver, which basically just means for the Owlbear Scourge taking an action. I really want to pull hard on the garrote across its throat so that it'll pull up. I'm hoping to get it to expose its belly to the rift in the sky, and then I will shoot the welder fire through it to weld shut the portal in the sky as we go flying past.
All right. Did you have a specific move for this?
No. Outside of, I still have my burning brand, which is still wrapped around its throat, and it's fiery and dangerous and all that goodness. Other than that, I don't think so.
All right. So you're trying to pull this thing. Let's go with Defy Danger, and you said you use Int for your brand.
When I'm using it as a weapon. Yep.
Right, yep. So go ahead and Defy Danger with Int.
That would be a 9.
All right. So you managed to do that and kind of drag the Void Gaunt up towards the portal. It gets its black, massive hands around around your fire whip, and the whip it tears and the whip just vanishes. It's gone. It turns black and is snuffed out. So you're kind of precariously sitting on top of this thing.
And all I'm trying to do is hold on just as I pour the fire through it to close that last piece of the portal.
All right. Go ahead and I'll let you roll Con, because you do that to summon your magical energy.
My fires. All right, here we go. Yes, that's a 10.
All right. You have sealed the gate. So,
I'm the greatest.
all right. So let's take stock of where we are. There's only maybe about 20 Void Wings left, and they're mostly fighting the Gnomish army. There are 2 void gaunts, one that Charfiend is precariously sitting on top of, one that is chasing Graves. We have a falling tower that Andromeda is standing on, and Sha-Sheena and Aliana are on are riding one of the void wings. Graves, you snap out of it. The fear spell is no longer affecting you. You've come to your senses. What do you do?
Which direction was I? Like, where was I flying towards?
Away.
Away. Just away?
Away from everything you could. So, so you probably have to bring the void wing around to face all this. You know, you're on a flying mount, so you can engage with pretty much anything you want at this point.
Okay, but there's one of those really big things.
It does seem interested in you.
Okay. So I think we are going to charge it.
Okay.
With my halberd ready to hopefully spear it in the mouth.
All right. Why don't you roll to hack and slash?
Nope. That's like a 6.
All right. You set your halberd to charge it. You stab at it, and it just grabs your halberd and crushes it, and your halberd turns to ash.
I just got that thing.
I hope you have a backup weapon. Sha-Sheena and Aliana, what are the two of you doing?
I am directing the Void Wing to fly towards Graves because I totally want to throw Aliana now.
Okay. So you're flying out.
I mean, it's the sensible thing to do here.
Aliana, you sense that you may be about to be used as a thrown weapon. What do you do?
I guess I ready my sword
Awesome.
so that I can actually do something.
Let's see.
Hope I don't take.
All right. So, Sha-Sheena, what are you going to throw Aliana?
Alright, roll.
I'm sorry. Everything. The audio got a little messed up there.
Okay.
What did you ask me?
What are you throwing her at?
I am going to throw her at the one that's pursuing Graves, I believe.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and act under fire. Defy danger with strength.
I protect my meat shield. Let's see here. Oh, yes, that's another 10.
All right.
And I'll roll my damage by Bard.
Yep.
And I got 10 points of damage.
All right. So, Sha-Sheena, you throw Aliana. Great toss. Smacks right into the void gaunt, pointy end first. Aliana, this thing is made of, like, it is semi-incorporeal, so your weapon, you're stabbing into it, and it's like trying to cut through a tub of butter or something. And you are now sort of on this, sort of not. What do you do? Have we lost Aliana?
Apple. Uh, no.
Can you hear us, Misha?
Misha?
Alright, so I have a typed message that she's trying to mount the critter. These are definitely more intelligent and certainly hostile than the void wings, which have proven vulnerable to being mounted. Why don't you? You're going to need a show of power to hold on to this thing. Why don't you defy danger with strength?
Instead of that, can I use metal and use a really loud voice instead? Oh,
I didn't quite hear that. You're trying to use one of your magic abilities?
Annoying technology. I think I heard her saying she wanted to use metal hurlant. Is that right, Misha? Yes, it would appear so based on text chat.
There's a thing called Voice Blast. I assume there's a roll or something for that. Is that a power you have? Metal hurlant. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll for that.
that's a 9
Okay.
total.
All right. Go ahead and roll your damage. All right. All right. So you play this huge note that reverberates. It doesn't really seem to do anything to its form, but the two of you are shot away from each other at massive speeds. So it's flying one way, you're flying the other way. And Andromeda, you're on a tower that is falling. There's gnomes running around screaming. There's a big, huge orb of power. What do you do?
I feel like I want to get out of this building that
Okay.
is falling. So I probably will accomplish that by doing an opening in space that I can walk through, which means I have to roll.
All right.
I can open up 2 points that I can see within near range. So like right next to me, and then somewhere that looks safe, whether that be like closer to the ground or one of the airships, perhaps. Well, the airship that's not crashed. I don't know what's the closest to me.
The airships are probably closer.
Okay, so the working airship
All right.
will be my other target. 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
I will read this. The fold is unstable. Either only one person can pass through safely, or the fold is unsafe to use for some reason. The GM will tell you why.
So
I
yourself through, or are you gonna make a risky portal to get some of the gnomes out with you?
No, sorry, gnomes. It's just myself.
All right. Tower falls to the ground, crashes. All the gnomes on it die. You monster. And the giant glowy orb magic thingy explodes. Boom! Huge explosion.
Oops.
Which tears the rift back open just a tiny crack. And it seems to be ripping at the seams. Don't give me that look, Brennan. Brennan, what are you doing? You're precariously on top of one of the void gods.
Well, now that just happened, I know my move, because I can does this. It exploded. That means that there's like an enormous magical fire, right?
Just huge shockwaves of energy.
Yeah, I want to bend that flame to my will and engulf myself and the thing I'm riding on.
Okay.
And just like have it shoot up as a massive wave of magical fire.
Okay. Do you have a move for that?
Yes, Zuko style. When you bend a flame to your will, roll plus whiz. Here goes nothing. 8. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, the effect is short-lived, lasting only a moment.
Okay. And you're just trying to use this flame to damage this thing.
Essentially, yeah. Like it's dangerous, and I'm riding on top of it, and I just wanted to incinerate it. And I mean, I guess secondarily pull the fire away from the city where it would do damage, but whatever. The city's toast anyway.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Sure. 7.
All right. This thing, is a void of coldness and sucks up most of the heat, but you are some of its shadowy form is burning off. There's tendrils of smoke coming up. It looks a little bit smaller. The gnomes have killed pretty much all the voidwings except a few stragglers, and they are now focusing on trying to escape. Graves, what do you do?
Okay, so I don't have a move for this, but I'm going to describe what I want to happen,
Awesome.
and you can tell me what to roll, I guess. So now that Graves is completely disarmed, and since the thing's trying to tear itself back out, she's going to fly up to where the tear is.
Okay.
And hold out her holy symbol, and basically scream, "In the name of Basilides, I order you to return from whence you came," in an effort to hold this thing back.
Right. Roll plus wisdom. You are attempting to close the rift between worlds.
Oh my god. That is a 9.
Okay. All right. All right. So you utter this you utter this command, and you feel for a moment the authority of your god speak through you. And on the other side of this rift, you see, you glimpse the face of what is behind the rift. You're going to take a debility to wisdom. And then the rift slams shut, and even the seam is closed. The rift is completely gone.
Woohoo!
Let's see. Sha-Sheena, you're riding a thing. You threw your bard at a void gaunt. The void gaunt is now kind of rocketing in your direction.
I would like to actually stand up on the one I'm riding.
Okay.
Scream and throw myself off it at the one coming at me.
All right. All right. Go ahead and defy danger on strength.
Yes. Oh, I love you, dice. I love you so much. I got an 8.
All right. Yeah, you grapple the thing. You're grabbed onto it now. Go ahead and hack and slash.
All right, with the magic sword. I rolled a 10.
All right. Roll your damage.
Oh, 8 points of damage.
Right. The magic sword cuts right through the incorporealness of the void gaunt, and there is a cloud of smoke. And when it fades, you are not grabbing a hold of anything. That could be bad.
As I fall, I'm laughing in glee.
Sha-Sheena is falling. Aliana, you are rocketing away from that in the exact opposite direction. What do you do?
Purchase on something to keep me from plummeting to my doom.
You trying to look for something to grab?
Yes.
There's like a one of the airships has this huge mast and rigging and stuff. Maybe you can grab onto that. Why don't you defy danger on Dex?
Oh yeah, this is definitely the night that Aliana gets all the XP. All of it.
So that's a fail?
No, totally.
Alright, so you managed to kind of grab a hold of that. You are now hopelessly entangled in the rigging of this ship, and its engines just went out, and it's going to plummet into the Gnomish City, which is on fire. Andromeda, you, as it happens, are on this same airship that is now falling.
I was wondering about that. I mean, I think I would like to try and make the airship not fall so much.
Okay.
Which I've never done this to a ship, so this will be fun.
Okay.
We're doing gravity pulse again because I'm just going to spam the spell the entire session. 8, 9, 10.
So this is your gravity spell?
Yes.
And on a 10, like, everything goes perfect, right?
On a 10, it doesn't say anything. It just says on a 7+ choose one. On a 7 and 9, you also have a weird side effect. So the gravity is greatly reduced. It falls very slowly.
Okay. All right. And it's still somewhat buoyant, so it's now able to. It's floating in place. It's not sinking, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not really going anywhere. Graves, you were fighting this thing, and then the Bard showed up, and they just rocketed away. So you're not engaged with anything right now.
I just did the rifty thing, right?
What's that? Yeah,
I just do the rifty.
That's right. You're up at the rift.
Confused.
It's
The former rift.
no more.
Charfiend is nearby. He's kind of hanging on that Voidgaunt.
How is he hanging onto the Voidgaunt?
How are you hanging on to the other Voidgaunts, Charfiend?
With my hands desperately. Right, because after that wash of fire, the thing is probably bucking and trying to knock me off it. So I'm just clutching it as best I can, trying to wrap my tail around it and hold on for dear life.
Yeah, it's trying to kill you, so maybe you should try to fight back or something. Why don't you hack and slash?
Sure. Well, I currently have no weapon.
Alright, so you're going to be doing it with your pokey salamander bits.
Die! I'm biting it. That's a 7.
Alright. Go ahead and do your damage.
Suffer my toothy rage of 1 point of damage.
Yeah, it is not impressed. You take a d6 plus 1 damage, ignoring armor.
Ha! The joke is on the Voidgaunt. I don't have any armor.
Oh, you showed me. All right.
Oh God! So I took 4.
All right. Graves, does that answer your question of how he's hanging on?
Yeah, it really does. So I think I'm going to. I don't have a weapon either. I don't really have a choice. I'm going to charge the big thing, the big critter, with my void wing.
Okay.
Yes.
On a collision course.
Okay.
I so approve of this. You feel like Sha-Sheena is falling, going, yes! Yes, Graves! Get it! Get it!
Oh God.
Roll to hack and slash. Your weapon is the void wing.
That is an 8.
All right. Do your damage. Plus 1. Because you also have the void wing's claws.
6.
All right. The void wing is kind of you smash it into the Voidgaunt. Your steed is dead. You definitely do some damage to the Voidgaunt. You are about to fall. What do you do?
I'm grabbing onto the Voidgaunt.
All right.
Or my tail. There's my tail. You can grab my tail.
I'm grabbing the nearest thing I can grab. If that happens to be your tail, so be it.
Defy danger with strength.
Just I'll clear those. Oh, good. 9, 10, 11.
All right. Yeah, you managed to grab a hold of the Voidgaunt and hold on to it. It's big, so you are both able to kind of hang on to it. Sha-Sheena, there's only a handful of void wings left. There's this Voidgaunt which your friends are on. It would be difficult to engage without one of them getting in the way. And also, these airships which belong to your gnomish minions who worship you as a god, those are crashing.
So everything's going down in fire.
And blowing up.
I mean, not the ship I'm on. It's sort of slowly lowering and not on fire.
Job well done. So
There's one that's just kind of floating there.
Huh. That's odd. Would there happen to be anything nearby I could grab onto?
What are you looking for?
Maybe a stray Nightwing.
Sure. Yeah, there's another one of those. Just one of the stragglers left. But it would take some precision to grab a hold of it. Why don't you defy danger on Dex?
Okay. I could also try to get its attention by using a move.
Okay, what move do you have?
It's called "What Are You Waiting For?" And if I make the roll, then they treat me as the most obvious threat to be dealt with.
All right, why don't you go ahead and do that?
Yeah.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
All right. Let's see. Oh, 6. 7. I got a 7, which means only the weakest or most foolhardy among them will fall prey to my taunting. So I'm not even 100% sure how you taunt one of these things.
Okay, well,
So I'm
give it your best shot.
going to make eye contact and lick one of its friends' blood off my sword and be like, come here.
All right. Well, yeah, it turns and you have its attention, and now it's fighting you. What do you do?
I'm going to grab onto it.
All right. Yeah, defy danger on strength now.
Okay. 12.
12. All right. Yeah, you have
Lovely dice. Lovely.
you have grabbed and mounted that thing, and it really hates you. It's really trying to shake you off, but you've got it under control. You can't really. You haven't. You're having trouble steering this one because it really hates you. But at least you're not falling.
Yeah.
Andromeda, you're on this airship. You've got it stabilized. Aliana's up there, just completely entangled in the rigging.
I mean, I think I'm gonna I want to keep concentrating because I don't want the ship to fall and crash and kill us all. But I'm trying to motion for the gnomes to, get my friend out of untangled from the rigging.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So some of the gnomes are climbing up Aliana to try to help you out. And it's kind of a too many cooks situation where you're trying to get yourself free, and they're really happy to help. They really want to help you. Oh, you're entangled. Let us help you. No, not that way. This way. All right. So that's what's going on. What do you do?
Yeah, we're gonna take the Gordian knot approach and just cut the rigging, and I probably will fall to the deck because of it, but I'm okay with that.
All right. Yeah, you do that. You cut yourself out of the rigging and fell on the deck. Oh, it hurts. And I'm like, oh, rigging.
Hey, it's crashing anyway. What do I hear?
You have to fix the engine. Somewhere down below in the city, a fireworks factory catches fire, and there's a chain reaction with with really bright, multicolored explosions. So that's a thing. Charfiend and Graves, you are both hanging on to this Voidgaunt, this murderous creature of shadow. What are the two of you doing?
Do something awesome, Brendan.
Hey, Graves! Look at what the prodigious inferno can do. Bet your god can't do this. I wanna quickly conjure a giant flame spear and just start stabbing it down into the thing over and over and over and over.
Okay, all right. Roll your conjuration.
All right. So that is plus con, so that should be a 9. And on a 9, I get, where'd it go? Choose one. I get one tag. So I'm taking hand, so the weapon is hand, fiery, and dangerous.
Okay.
And yeah, so I stab the crap out of it.
Yeah, roll your hack and slash.
Plus int. Booyah. So that's an 11.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and let it attack me and do the extra 1d6.
All right.
Self-preservation, not my strong suit. So that's a total of an 8.
Okay. That is surprisingly enough to kill it. In its death blow, it does a d6 plus 1 to you.
It's like scraping me off its back.
Yeah. I think it's mostly trying to deal with Graves. Like Graves is hanging on the front, you're hanging on the back. You stab through it with your spear, try to reach over its back to you, and this thing just kind of crumbles to ash. And now the two of you are falling.
All right, now your god can save us.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so Graves is actually going to grab hold of Charfiend.
Okay.
And she's going to aim for the highest target, which I understand is probably still like 500 feet from us. But basically, so she's going to try to position herself. So, I mean, she's got the heavy armor on. She's going to go smoosh, but hopefully her smooshing will protect Charfiend from the fall.
All right. Are you okay? So you are just gonna shield your companion with your body.
Yep.
Okay.
I know it's not the greatest plan.
All right. Defy danger with con.
That is 11, 12, 13.
All right, here's the good news. You only take a d12 damage.
I guess I didn't need to erase that, but that's okay. That's a 3 on the dice, which is a 1 if my armor protects me. But I'm going squish, so I'm okay if it doesn't.
So you land. You go through a roof, which is what most of the damage is, and you land in a marshmallow factory. There's this giant vat of liquid marshmallow that sploosh the two of you land in, and
that is never coming out of your hair.
Charfiend, you are completely fine.
Sure, sugar. It'll dissolve with enough hot water.
Yeah. All right. Sha-Sheena, what are you doing? You are riding a ornery voidwing.
So pretty much everything has been taken care of, right?
There's a couple voidwings which are mostly just flying around, snatching gnomes out of the sky. There's 10 of them left. There's the airship that's Andromeda on, and then there's 3 other airships that are probably going to crash pretty soon, and the majority of the city of Technomica is on fire, but nobody is trying to kill you right now.
Well, I cannot leave enemies alive, so
Okay.
I'm going to go after these scattered
All right.
voidwings.
All right. Why don't you roll to try to dominate your mount? I need a charisma check for that.
Okay. Six charisma check. 7.
Act under defy danger with charisma.
Yeah, 7.
All right. All right. Yeah. You. Yeah, you managed to get it under control. It is just really bucking. You're not going to be able to keep control of it for long, but maybe that's long enough. So yeah, it gets you gets you to another void wing. You can go ahead and hack and slash that if you want.
Can I kill the one I'm on and catapult myself to the next one?
What are you trying to do?
I want to kill the one that's bucking underneath me and then jump onto the one next to it. Like, if that makes sense.
Okay, sure.
I want a domino effect of killing void wings and jumping onto the next one.
All right. Okay. Go ahead and hack and slash against the one you're riding.
No one asked you, Brennan.
I'm not the GM.
I got a 10.
All right. Go ahead and do.
No, wait, I got a 12.
12. Okay. Go ahead and do your damage.
All right. 10 points of damage.
All right. You killed both of them.
Dice ever. Yes.
You slice the throat of the one, and then it's diving, and you land on the other and cut it to pieces, and now you are on a falling Voidwing corpse. Andromeda and Aliana, you are on the on this airship. The other three airships are Valeria saves one of them, so the other two airships are about to crash into the city.
I mean, like, I'm trying to sort of set this one down gently.
Okay.
I don't know how I do that because I've never like tried to do that before.
I think kind of with raw willpower. So why don't you go act under fire with defy danger with will.
Will is wisdom.
Yep.
Cool. That's a fail.
That's a fail?
That's a fail.
All right. All right, yeah. So, yeah, you crashed the airship. Great.
Aliana.
No worries.
Why
You didn't do it on purpose.
why don't you and Aliana both defy danger with con?
I got a 9.
I got an 8.
All right. Airship plows into this courtyard. You are both tossed around, kind of covered in rubble and debris. You're not really sure what's going on. There's smoke everywhere. Charfiend and Graves, the marshmallow factory is catching fire.
Yeah,
Yours.
I'm fine with that.
I think Graves is doubly confused now. I think she's kind of crawling out of the vat of marshmallow and kind of like flicking it off of her hands
Sure.
and kind of looking around stunned like she can't believe she's still alive.
Come on! I burn off the marshmallow off of me.
All right.
And I grab Graves to lead her out of the burning factory. I hear fire is not good for people like you.
All right. Charfiend, you were trying to find a safe route out of the burning marshmallow factory. Defy danger with intelligence.
Should I discern realities?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Go ahead and do that. That makes sense.
Sure.
I forget that that's a move.
Because who wastes their time looking for things?
That's right.
You can hit things.
Yeah.
So I got a 12.
Okay.
So I can ask 3 questions.
All right.
All right. Well, what here is useful or valuable to me?
All right. Useful or valuable in the marshmallow factory?
Trying to get out and get to safety, yeah. Or trying to get out and get into a position where we can help our comrades who are still flinging around in the air, as last we know.
Mm-hmm. You find like a personal you find like a personal rocket pack. It's full of pressurized water, and so it'll squirt that out. But yeah, it would let somebody fly around.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't think I mix well with water. So I lead Graves over to the rocket pack and I start strapping it on. Because I imagine you're all like woozy and confused, right?
Yep.
So I start strapping it on you, and I'm like, I think if you push that button and then just aim for up and out, and then if you see anybody falling, catch them.
Okay. What are you going to do?
I'm fine.
Please tell me you're going to hit the button.
Oh, sure, yeah, totally. I'll push the button as I say, I'm fine.
Oh, goodness.
All right. So you hit the button. Pressurized water starts coming out of this rocket pack. Graves, you are launched into the air. Back through the roof smash. You're going up. You see that there's a. Oh, hey! I steer it like this. Sha-Sheena's there, and she's falling. She cuts through like another night gaunt, a night void wing, whatever they are. They're total. I'm totally not ripping off Lovecraft. They're void wings. Graves, what do you do?
I guess I'm going to try to figure out how to control this thing.
Yeah, you steer it with these. Defy danger with intelligence. You're trying to figure out how this thing works.
Yeah, this should be fun.
Oh dear.
Yep.
All right.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
You set it to full throttle and go off to the horizon, and who knows what will happen to Graves. Sha-Sheena, you see a marshmallow-covered rocket fly out of one of these buildings and then just go rocketing towards the horizon. You think, was that Graves? It's hard to tell with her just covered in marshmallow goo. The airship that Andromeda and Aliana were on is crashed, and it's in the middle of a courtyard that is surrounded by buildings on fire. And you're falling. What do you do?
I thought we had landed the last time.
Sha-Sheena is still in the airship has landed. Well, is crashed. Sha-Sheena just killed the void wing she was riding on and is no longer riding anything.
Right, but Aliana was on the ship, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. She's just looking around like, what the hell did you people do this time? I don't even know where to start here. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay.
She just stands there dumbfounded for a few minutes trying to figure out what the hell to do next.
Sha-Sheena, you're falling. Do you have any strategy to avoid this course of action?
Aim for something soft.
Aim for something soft. That's what Graves did. It went pretty well for her. Let's see how it goes for you.
Or something to stab. Either of the two.
Why don't you defy danger on con?
On con?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. When my dice let me down, they let me down hard. That's a 3.
Did you say you got a 3?
Yeah. 3.
All right.
It's okay.
All right. So you are skewered. Oh wait, you are skewered on a weather vane. Oh, right through your torso. Roll 2d12, take the worst, and ignore armor.
Jesus. All right, let me see here. That is kind of appropriate, really. Skewered by a weather vane. My dice still love me. I take 2 points of damage.
Hey, it didn't hit anything important. However, you are hopelessly stuck on this weather vane. All right.
Okay, now that pisses her off.
All right. So, did Charfiend have any other questions? Because you got a 12 on your.
I did. I could ask other questions. Yes. I mean, in the moment, I feel like I was most interested in making sure Graves was safe because I actually have a move that makes me immune to fire, non-magical heat and fire. So I'm not that worried about being caught in a flaming building, except for the part where it falls on me. So the other questions, I'm not. I guess I just ask what should I be on the lookout for as I'm trying to get back out. And, like, again, I want to go check in on the rest of them.
Okay.
I assume Graves is safe. She should be fine. She's tough. She's hardy. And I want to make sure that Andromeda, Aliana, and Sha-Sheena are okay.
You should be on the lookout for weird gnomish equipment exploding. Because that could be harmful to your friends and possibly even you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
right.
So... That's unnerving as hell. Alright, yeah, so I'm coming out of the factory then on the lookout, keeping an eye out for anything that
How
looks
about in a
completely...
courtyard where there's a crashed airship?
Yeah, totally. Which looks like gnomish equipment that could explode, I assume.
Yeah.
Is this where Andromeda and Aliana are?
That's correct.
And so I see them.
Yep. All right, and that's where we're going to cut. So we've got Charfiend, Andromeda, and Aliana on this the crashed airship in a courtyard. All the buildings around it are on fire. The marshmallow factory is exploding with spurts of marshmallow goo everywhere. On top of one of the nearest buildings on this tall spire, there's this spire just sticking right through Sha-Sheena, but she's fine, and Graves has rocketed off somewhere. So that's what's going on. End of session.
That's pretty much just the day in the life of the Owlbear Scourge.
Mm-hmm.
End of session.
All right.
All right. All right. So, does anybody have any bonds that are resolved or no longer relevant?
I've got ballads going, so yeah.
I think mine are still good.
Did I convert Graves to the worship of the prodigious inferno? I did some pretty awesome shit there. Come on.
You totally did. If only she hadn't channeled Basilides like seconds before that.
No, damn it.
You were too late. Too late.
Damn it.
You can keep working on it.
Fair enough. Anybody else?
Nope.
I've got a ballad of Sha-Sheena, so.
What?
So that's on.
Well, Sha-Sheena and Scourge. How's that?
I'm so excited. So excited.
I'm hearing nothing. All right, alignment. Did you meet your alignment?
Yes.
What is your alignment trigger?
I performed my art to aid someone else.
Yes, you did.
Mine is endanger yourself to protect someone weaker than you.
Yes.
No, I'm not weaker. No.
Mine is set up and trigger a crazy chain of events.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is eschew a convention of the civilized world.
What convention did you feel? Do you feel you eschewed?
I threw my friends.
Yes.
Yes, Emily Post says, don't do that.
Harpine, what do you have?
I have exchange a sacrifice freely given for services rendered. I don't think I did that thing.
Right. Did you guys learn anything new and important about the world?
I mean, we learned that the gnomes are going to be pissed at us.
Well, we did learn that they had a battery that powered all of their equipment that we kind of blew up.
That's true.
And they have a marshmallow factory.
They do.
That's true. We learned a lot about gnomes.
I mean, I also feel like Graves saw the thing behind the rift.
That counts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This whole battle is definitely a notable monster or enemy.
Yes.
Did you guys find any memorable treasure?
I've got a
Marshmallow
jetpack.
Factory?
All right, yeah, the jetpack.
Jetpack.
That is load 3, and it's got 2 uses left.
I have a jetpack. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh my god, that's tonight. I have a jetpack, says Graves.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for running.
Thank you for running,
That was
yeah.
awesome. I had a great time, and now I'm like, okay, wow, everybody's going to be scorched, covered in marshmallow, and hated by gnomes next session. I'm really happy, actually, about that. Yay! More people hate
And Charfine will have to bear the brunt of the blame in that because he will be conspicuously absent.
Right? This one time. Very cool. So, just as a final part, if you did like this, please go ahead and subscribe to Indie Plus by clicking the subscribe button down there. We do lots of other cool videos, and of course we do more Chain World episodes. This is our episode 9, I said at the beginning, because I can count. And we will be doing more, and so go ahead and check in on some of those episodes if you want to see our prior antics, and check in on later episodes if you want to find out how the molten marshmallow thing and jetpack and spirit on a weatherbane turns out. Thank you again so much for coming on and running Willow. This was fantastic. And thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Misha. And thank you, Sarah, for playing, as always. The Owlbear Scourge is amazing. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a good night.